Say hello. Say hello. Show me how big you've gotten, huh? You've gotten big. You gonna give me a kiss? No kisses? Yes, we give kisses, huh? Okay. So hello and welcome to Domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. This is tea, noun, a hug in a cup. And I don't remember where I got this. Probably my daughter, since she's gotten me like a ton of my coffee mugs. Either that or my husband found this for me. One or the other. I don't think I purchased that. Anyway, in our, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. In our tea, a hug in a cup mug, is the Republic of Tea Blackberry Sage. It says tea for wisdom. Premium black tea blend with herbs and natural flavors. Black tea, natural flavor, and sage. Okay. Blackberry must be one of the natural flavors. Republic of Tea is actually a fairly decent tea. I've had it before. I've actually drunk this earlier in the winter, but I don't remember much about it. Being a black tea, I'm a little... It didn't go up into my daughter's thing, so I must have liked it. So let's give it a sip. It just started steeping. God, that feels good. It is cold, folks. It is cold. It smells good. Not getting any blackberry yet, but it's not bad yet. So we'll let it sit for a minute. You all know how these things go, or at least we all know how these things used to go. We do the look, and then we come back and we do this intro, and then we go and do the closing. So hopefully by the closing, we'll have some flavor in about 10 minutes, right? Anyway, so it has been a while. It's been 6 months since we've done a Notes from Home. I honestly shouldn't have waited that long, but we are going to get into that in the Notes from Home. And today we are going to be trying a bunch of new products. We are going to be trying the Cosmic Brushes Death Palette. I got this. I was going to show it. It's been besmirched a bit. So I was going to do this before my extended vacation, but it actually didn't arrive in time, and we went on our break. And then I've got this green Grunge Resolution Ladybug Glow and Ice Cream Beauty collab. And this was an unexpected one that I had not intended to pick up, but I couldn't resist the color story. That's beautiful. We will also be trying the Moira Precision Liquid Liner, as well as the NYX Epic Ink Liner Glitz. I have the new, for me, the e.l.f. Lash Extender. And I bought a box of liquid lipsticks off of Amazon because one of these things I was having trouble finding is colors. When Colored Rain closed down, it became harder to find colored lipsticks. I mean, blues and greens and blacks and teals and that kind of stuff. So I tried this box, and I don't know if this box is still available. Everything will be linked down below as usual, and we will talk about lipstick as well, and we're going to go from there, right? Anyway, this is the look. We're going to give you a hint. If you're interested in the look, if you're interested in any of these products, if you're interested in where the heck I've been and what's been going on, then keep on watching. We are on a new mic. Hopefully I've mentioned this, but alrighty, so hopefully I got all of that introduction stuff out of the way. But before we go ahead and get in, I know I introduced the palettes and stuff, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at them unbesmirched. So this is the Ladybug Glow Ice Cream Beauty Grunge Resolution. Now, this is a palette I wasn't expecting to buy, but that color story, that's beautiful. No fancies, just gorgeousness. That is the more recent of the two palettes. The Cosmic Brushes Death Palette. We'll get into it all. But there's that. Almost unbesmirched. My granddaughter helped me come up with the colors that I'm using today. Helped me come up with a bit with the theme of what we're doing and what we're playing with. So we're going to be going back and forth between the two palettes. All right, so we're going to start with the Grunge Resolution. And this color, Cloudy. I'm actually going to start this in the crease and move up. Alrighty, so let's get to the more important things, the most obvious important things. We're fine for the moment. And I mean, we are doing things to reduce our risks, I guess, I would say. You know, I'm going to do both eyes. It's been 6 months since we've done this. So I think we're going to have a long talk. We're going to have a long talk, unfortunately. So let's just get both eyes done together. Anyway, so we've done a few things to limit our risks. I wasn't going out much before the whole thing with the icy conditions got crazy. I'm going out a lot less now, just, you know, to be protective of myself. My family kind of needs me here to, I really hope the sound dampening is working because our neighbor kids are just going nuts. That's one change over the last 6 months. We've got neighbors and she's got kids and they are loud. They are loud, folks. They sound like they're in the house, in my house. At any rate, as I was saying, I wasn't going out much before the whole thing with the icy conditions got really bad in, you know, what we saw in Minnesota. And I've been going out even less now. I don't feel safe. And my family needs me here to, you know, take care of my son. So, all right, we are now going to get it back into the Death palette. And we're going to use this color 13. And we're going to put that under the brow and just give some shine up there. We had some trouble finding some of the light colors for this. At any rate, so we're fine. We're doing what we can to protect ourselves. I'm doing what I can to keep my son in mind because he needs me here. He can't be here alone. I've given him instructions on what to do in certain circumstances. And we've got a small, probably not very good, but I do have a small plan in place should they show up at our doorstep. Let's just hope that that's not a thing anytime soon, because it is not a very good plan, but it is the only plan I could think of to try to protect us should, you know, we get some ice on the doorstep. We didn't disappear on you because of that. We're here, obviously, because I'm filming. But I just wanted to reassure everybody that, yeah, we're hanging in. We're hanging in. What's been going on? Well, as you know, I was going to take a break for Christmas. And we ended up not celebrating Christmas. It just was, it wasn't in our finances to do much of anything. We did get some money from the father-in-law, and I was able to, you know, get the kids a few things, or send them some money to get things that they wanted. But in general, yeah, we didn't do a Christmas dinner. We didn't have people over. We didn't do anything. And it got very, very cold, as I'm sure some of you know. We're going to get back into the grunge. And we're going to use this color Resolution on our inner corner. That's so pretty. So it got very, very cold. It got it got down in the 20s, which for some people isn't that cold, but for us it was very cold. And what I'm finding now, as an old lady, is that the cold weather just messes me up. My entire body hurt. And of course, I'm sure some of you recall, I think from before DragonCon, look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Will it stay? Lord knows. But that is a gorgeous color. Oh, oh, I'm already liking that. Anyway, as some of you know from before DragonCon, I had a knee thing going on. The cold has made it worse. And okay, so we're going to get in here. And we're going to take this color Changes and we're going to put across the middle of the lid. And then we're going to put this color Rebirth over it. I'm looking forward to this because I tried this on my hand and went, oh my God. All right. I'm using a cane now for the most part. Sometimes I can get around. I've been trying to get around without the cane when I can. But yeah, it's been a bitch. It's been a bitch. Anyway, so between the cold weather and, I'd come down here and I would start freezing and I was like, no, we are not doing this. We are not doing this freezy thing. This is no. So I've been staying up in my room for the most part. Just trying to take care of myself. And I haven't been that sick this year, which is nice. But not going anywhere will make it so you're not sick, right? You don't get sick. Congestion. I think the biggest problems I've had have been we've had a lot of in and out storms, and I've had some issues with sinus stuff. It's normal this time of year for me. But beyond that, I haven't really gotten sick. I haven't had the flu or anything like that. I've just pretty much have been, oh God, look at that. Can you see that? Can you see what that is doing? That is beautiful. So I've had sinus issues and I've been dealing with my stupid knee and yeah, stuff like that. But for me, my health, basically where I've been is just pretty much hiding from the cold weather. I'm going to go back into the resolution and some more of that the grunge palette and get to more of that resolution and go over the edge. So we can blend these two just a little bit, maybe. Hi, baby. And then take this one. Get some of that red. Get these two melted in. The neighbor gets loud. Ooh, I like what that's doing. Went a little far with that resolution, but I'm not overly unhappy with that. So anyway, I've just been protecting my peace and keeping myself warm and babying this leg and working on my art and things like that. So yeah, it's just been more of a it was a long break. It was not deliberately made to I kept thinking about you guys, but I just couldn't bring myself to come down here in the cold. Even during the day, it's been cold down here. Our heater is on right now. It's one of the warmest days we've had in weeks. So it's just been pretty what it is, which isn't been fun. So yeah, I've been good. The family, I'm just hiding mostly and avoiding pain. The jobs are generally going well. Give me a minute. Hubs is still at Ella down in Atlanta. He is like the the last of the employees there that was there when they opened it, which I find really kind of funny. But even the original chef is no longer working there. He actually, the chef, the original chef, got together with another employee, as in they became a couple, and they knew that was limited. Their time for that was limited. So she had an opportunity a little further up north, and he went with her, basically. So we got a new chef, and but everybody else is pretty much gone. It's really kind of strange. He's the original, one of the only original ones left. It's almost sad, but the restaurant is doing fairly well, all things considered. They gave him a raise recently, and the only downside right now is that there's no overtime, and he's usually 2 to 3 hours under 100% full time. That's been a struggle to adjust to. Plus, insurance. As you all know, he had that heart thing, and well, I don't know if you all know that. You should know that, but maybe you don't. He had to have stents put in. I don't know if I ever actually mentioned that anywhere where any of you would have seen that. But he had stents put in. Actually, probably not. Come to think of it, since it's been 6 months. He was having some problems, some tightness, and he wasn't telling me about it. Anyway, he finally told me about it, but he wasn't having the arm pain or anything, just tightness. So I told him he needed to get that checked. I think I did tell you guys about this in something. Just can't remember when. Anyway, he went into the doctor. He ended up going in on a day that he was supposed to go into work. And he went to like an urgent care. And they said, "Oh, no, baby, you are going to go across the street." Because this was over, you're going to go across the street. You're going to go into that hospital and let them deal with this. And he went in the first time, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm not sure if it just settled out or what, but they couldn't figure out what was going on. And they sent him home, and then they told him to, go immediately to a hospital if he started having problems again. Well, he did. Somehow they finally caught it. We think the first time he just managed to relax and it was all okay. So whatever tension there was, it was taken care of. But he went in the second time, and they finally caught it. They did a number of tests, and he ended up having 2 stents put in. And he is now on a medication that he's supposed to be on for a year to help keep his body from rejecting the stents. And I think it's only for a year. He's not sure. Initially, he said it was only for a year. And then he mentioned something about it might need to be longer. But they put him on some other stuff too. They put him on, aspirin and blood pressure medication and a few other things to try to help get through all this. So he's on 3 medications. One of them was absolutely minimally required because of the stents. So when it came time for insurance, I looked at the insurance rates. We were through the Georgia Exchange at the time, and the original insurance we were on was something like $135 for 2 people, right? Well, I went back in to check it out again. And the new rate was almost $800. I was like, no, that's not happening. I don't have that. So we went through my husband's insurance, and it would have been close to $7 for both of us. So right now he's on insurance and I'm not. So right now, my heart meds though are currently, they're barely affordable. I think they cost me about $100 to get the 3 of them for 3 months. So I should have them until about June. And then in June, I'm actually looking into some OTC stuff. I'm aware that it's not going to be as good as actual blood pressure medication, but I am doing things to work on my cholesterol, and I'm hoping that between that and the other OTC thing that I'm looking at to help with the blood pressure will help keep me, if not in totally safe space, in an area that is workable for me, so to speak. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be running around like crazy. All right, we're going to get back into the Death palette and get this color Awakening for this on the end. I want some dark on this side. We're looking into that, and I'm keeping, whoa, shit. Okay, I said dark. Wow. That, hi. That came in and said, hello, I'm here. That was a bit unexpected. It shouldn't have been. It's Cosmic Brushes. You can see there's quite a bit of fallout. Couldn't take care of us both, not on those prices. And he's the one that's got the more important pressing thing at the moment. As I noted, my knee is a bitch. It's doing better, sort of. Doesn't like cold. Warm showers can help, but not always. I am trying to walk on it without the cane at points. So I'm not, I'm not, I'm not avoiding using it, working it, because I don't want it to stiffen up. Although when it gets cold and wet, the whole thing feels stiff and swollen. And yeah, it's no fun. And for those of you who wonder why don't I just turn up the heater? Well, we're in a 2-story. And I don't know if you've tried to heat a 2-story in cold wintertime, but it's expensive. We kept our heater down in the 50s. And my bills have still been running about $350. Had I tried to keep us, quote unquote, comfortable with taking the heater up to something more like 77, say 75, that bill would have been over $500 a month. No, can't do that. No. Okay, so this is Challenges. And this is going to be Midnight. Oh, they are so close. I don't know if that'll work. Challenges. Midnight. I think I'm going to use Challenges and Midnight. I don't want to use black. I'm covered. Let's take a look at these two. Since we're here, we've got this messy. Let's try it. Okay, I pressed hard, folks. I swear I did. I've had some old age things show up. This hand has tremors in it now. So yeah, I've got a tremble in this hand, and it's not horrible. And thank God it's the left and not the right. The right seems to be doing fairly well. I'm fine with it. I've had some minor very minor, asthma related things going on. Okay, so this is going to go in the crease and the point. It's a green. I am putting lots of different colors up here today. Anyway, so there's been that, but I mean, in general, I'm not sick. I haven't been sick. The family hasn't been sick. My daughter got sick at one point, but she goes out and works, so, but it wasn't anything. She's had other health issues. She's still working on some of her stuff, but she's getting through and doing her things. I actually like that. That's kind of cool, folks. I feel nebulesque. Okay. I'm easy to amuse. Can we tell? It's been a while. But she's got her job. She's still working in her job. Her car is starting to go, which is terrible. But she had just bought it, and it's not even paid off yet, and it's already starting to go. She bought it from a friend, and so it can't even qualify for the lemon law or anything like that. And I don't think she would do that to this particular friend anyway. She's being she's got a lot going on. We've all got a lot going on, but she's got a lot going on. But anyway, so she's doing standard. She hasn't been filming as much, but there's issues with TikTok right now, as some people know. So I don't know if she's not filming because of that, or just time and all of that, those other issues sometimes we have when we're trying to get things done. All right, so now we're going to try this, and I'm going to have to use a different mirror because this mirror is just too narrow. Okay, so and like I said, with her health, there's some things kind of going on, but I can't get into them. They're very personal to her. But she's working on taking care of her stuff. Hubs is doing fairly well. Since the stents, we've not seen any issues with his heart. And he does have a bad knee, but he's getting around. Everybody's kind of, we're mostly maintaining the status quo. And anything that we've got going on, for the most part, is minor. As you can imagine, though, the mental stuff is a big deal right now. It's a lot right now. It's a lot. It's too much. I spent part of this winter, I'm going to be honest, I spent part of this winter it was the cold. Also, I spent a lot of this winter in bed. Like I said, a lot of it's a cold. We don't have our heater up. We can't afford to have the heater up. And also, the in and out storms. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I actually have, it's undiagnosed, but it's like sad. It doesn't hit me like right away. It takes a few storms of in and out, and we had a lot of storms this winter. So I spent a lot of winter time fighting that too, because the storms that was nonstop. It was, here's a storm, you get a break. Here's a storm, you get a day off. Here's a storm, and those storms do more than just hit me emotionally. They give me headaches, body aches. Like I said, my knee was really having issues. My knee, when it's cold, feels very sore and stiff. But when it's cold and raining, it feels sore and stiff. And the only way I can describe it is like it's overstuffed full of cotton or something. It feels stuffed. It feels swollen almost Well, I guess it's kind of swollen, right? Stuffed. So the rain was causing those kind of issues, and I just didn't want to get out of bed. And I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure at the time um, how much of that was quote unquote honest depression and how much of it was the weather and the aching and the cold just getting to me. But I do think that there was some, the world going on kind of depression. So there's been some mental, there's been mental stuff going on. All right, I'm going to get into this midnight now. And I don't know how many of you have tried to be creative or do things, just to do things when your mental health is in crisis. But I just pretty much stayed in the bed. I honestly just couldn't really bring myself. That's nice. I am going to have to put some more of the gold color in here, not because it's fading out, but because some of the colors are, I have hooded eyes. Some of the colors are kind of moving down and sort of dimming that color, but we'll take care of that. We'll take care of that. I like how this is coming out otherwise though. I mean, this is nice. So I was trying to do my art during that time because I thought if I'm not filming downstairs, at the very least I can do some art videos. And I struggled to do that even. I did do some art, and in the end I decided to just do the art and not pressure myself to perform, if that makes sense. It's just going to do my art and we're going to go from there, right? Just do what I like doing and enjoy doing it, basically. So, but in the part of doing the art, I've found my style. I like I found what I like to do. I have a mix that I really enjoy doing that involves a pencil. I use the pencil to um, obviously sketch everything out and get my details in and stuff like that. And then I also sometimes use colored pencil to help with some of that. But basically, I use the pencil for a lot of shading in things. And then I use ink mostly to do outlines or lines that I need to be more clear than colored pencil would do. Colored pencil and makeup, colored pencil doesn't go over makeup well. So sometimes I have to do ink to get lines and stuff in that I need in the makeup. And then I'll obviously makeup. And there's a lot of white space in my work. So I'm going to show you a few. I'm going to show you a few actually where you can see the shimmer of what I've done, because I really like having the shimmer and shine. I like it on my face, so that's no surprise, right? So here's a couple of pieces, some of my favorite pieces that I've done recently that I feel are really showing the style that I found that I really enjoy doing. And I do also have, by the way, regular pencil sketches, but take a look. Like I was saying, I have found my style. I hope you like this. And but at the same time, I'm stretching myself. I've been working on practicing different things. I'm on Bluesky, and I do things like Mushroom Monday, and I'm part of the Bird Whispers group. I've been doing those and stuff like that. And I have ideas for other things I want to do in the future. So I'm really still loving my art, even when I was struggling to actually do the art. I just was just finding it hard because of the weather and the cold and the stress of what's going on in the world. And in a lot of ways, I feel like just the plate didn't just get full. It got buried. The world is just, it's hard for me right now. My skin tone and all that, right? And I'm worried about my kids, particularly my son. And yeah, just basically, I kind of, during the months that I've been gone, I just kind of folded in on myself for a while. And I'm hopefully coming out of that. I'm still very stressed about the world. I'm still very worried about my kids. I'm very stressed out about world events. That's the one thing that I am truly just kind of losing my shit over, I guess you could say. I still want to keep the channel going. You know, that's one of the reasons why I cleaned up and cleared things out and reorganized. All my stuff is behind me now instead of over here. So all my palettes are behind me now. Make it a little easier to reach for something and see things. It was so easy to ignore stuff when I had it off to the side. Now it's right here. So I do want to still do the channel. We have lots of limitations right now, money being one of them. Now that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be buying things, although I'm trying to be a better steward of my funds when it comes to purchasing. Like I said, the Ladybug Glow palette was totally unexpected. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, to like that. So anyway, I have to start thinking about, since I have to keep my purchases down, even from my favorite brands, I have to find a way to continue the channel, because I want to, without relying too much on new releases in particular. And I've noticed that a lot of things that I've done in the past just don't get, the panning things, the what is it? Monthly palettes, which honestly don't work for me much anymore because I'm not filming enough to, have 3 videos a week anymore. And I don't intend to go back up to 3 videos a week, at least for now. I love y'all, I do, but my art is more my thing now. So I love doing this. I love makeup. Y'all know that. But the thing is, art is home, and I can't explain it any other way. Art is my space, which is why it was really bizarre this winter when I was struggling with it, because that is the place where I find comfort. When I'm doing my art, that's where I find comfort. I get myself lost in it. And, I used to be able to do that with writing, but writing requires a lot of being able to complicate things for people, for characters. So you have to do more thinking than I've been capable of doing. And you know what? Sorry about that. And you know what? I had that problem the first time Don Vict was in office too. You have a problem with me calling him that? You don't need to be on my channel, okay? Let's just get that out of the way real quick. Before I continue more on the channel, I'm going to make this very, very clear. I'm a brown girl. I was raised white, so a lot of people mistake me as white with a tan. That's not going to be a thing much anymore, I don't think. I have cut family out of my life over voting for Trump. So, if he's your thing, I'm not your thing. So, anytime I mention him, it's probably not going to be in a good way. And if that's a problem for you, you don't need to be here. He's the reason I'm scared to death for my kids. I don't know what's going on with my voice. I have something going on with my voice, but he's the reason I'm not going out as much. He's the reason I'm afraid to leave my house. And he's the reason that, he's just the reason that the world's on fire, or at least America's on fire. So you got a problem with me having a problem with him, you don't need to visit me here. I'm just going to stick with that. Okay? I'm going to just make that part clear. I don't know what else to say. So with that out of the way, getting back to channel, some of the other content that you guys have liked has been like the cooking content, but that's become a bit of a nightmare. We were finally starting to make some progress with our problems, and we were talking about finally being able to come back and do things cooking wise. And then we got neighbors. And I'm not saying they were dirty. This is an apartment complex. Our townhome is connected to their townhome, which is connected to the next townhome over, so on and so forth. The way apartments are all interconnected. And the way apartment complexes deal with pests does not help. And actually help, because they will spray one apartment. Somebody will complain that they need spraying. They will spray that one apartment. They do not spray it thoroughly. They just go in and say, okay, so it's probably in your kitchen. We'll spray your kitchen. We'll get a few other problem spots, and then we're done. They don't get the whole apartment. They really don't. And even here, they're doing like the bathrooms upstairs, but they're not getting the whole apartment. So that's a problem. And then you have me. I've got limited mobility. My husband and daughter work. And so me trying to keep up with clearing out shelves and doing things of that nature to do even more isn't happening. It can't happen. I cannot do it. So when they spray an apartment, when they spray the next door neighbor's apartment, the bugs are going to want to get away from that spray, and so they will split out from their apartment, going to mine and the other neighbor. They don't do them all at the same time, so these bugs are just running back and forth. Yes, some of them are dying, but they're just running back and forth. They're just running back and forth from one unsafe environment until the next environment is no longer safe, and they run back. That's just how it is in apartments. So since the neighbor... Because before, when it was empty, we could just spray and they'd go over there and they'd be gone. And we were still having problems, as you know. But we would just keep on spraying, and it actually felt like we were starting to make some progress. And then we got the neighbor, and now they're spraying the neighbor, and they're spraying over here. And ever since they started spraying, the apartment complex, it has it's been worse. It's been, I'm telling you, folks, it has been worse, just worse. So we can't do any cooking or baking right now. The fight goes on, and we'd love to share with you, but it's impossible. It truly is just, it's a nightmare. Kind of struggling to come up with ideas. You guys, people weren't really into the long form art, so I won't be doing any more of those. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep the one and dones. They don't get a lot of traffic, but they get some traffic. I am going to still do the missing Indigenous Mondays. I still want to do those. I still find that important. Yeah, I still find that important. To me, that still has a lot of value, in even with so many people disappearing right now. So yeah, I want to still do that. I'm not sure if we're going to garden this summer. Again, that comes down to finances. So right now, I'm basically down to the one and dones and the MMIWs, and I'm not sure what else to do at this point. I have thought about discussion things, but my opinion's one and a C, and there's lots of opinion type YouTubes out there that are doing fairly well. I mean, that's part of the reason that I think my YouTube is not as big as it could be, is that I jumped on the beauty wagon, and the beauty wagon was already pretty much full up. Mind you, most of them were younger women, so I thought maybe being an older woman would help. It's not done much. So I mean, just right now, I'm gonna kind of just meander along the way we've been meandering along with, the limited stuff I've been doing, and keep thinking about possibly other ideas. I don't know. My son, we can't afford right now. We can't afford boxes, of subscription boxes. My husband's not getting his hot sauce box was probably the cheapest box we were getting, and we're not even getting that right now because of finances. So we can't even do stuff like that. So I don't know what else to do at this point. Just going to keep on meandering along and being this tiny little channel, doing my own little things I really enjoy doing, that I can afford to do. Money limits things, and so I haven't figured out what to do next. If I could think of something that would make a good series in terms of discussion, I'd be willing to probably do it, if it's something in my wheelhouse, so to speak. But I honestly don't know where to go with that. So you're stuck with, the occasional notes from home, apparently every 6 months. I'll try to do more than that, especially now when I'm sure people are going to be worried about me. Yeah, and the MMWs and the ones and dones. If you got suggestions, I'm willing to listen to them. I'm going to go finish my face, and then we can try the lipstick together and talk about the products. And yeah, I'll be back. All right, so I know I'm back to try on this lipstick before I go and do some finishing touches and shit. But oh my god, I haven't been doing my hair during the whole downtime. I've just been keeping it up, and oh my goodness, I had a very recent trim. I've started a new way of diffusing it. I had started doing the new way just before I stopped showing up here. And wow. And I self-trimmed. Still got some funkiness, but that's curly hair. Alrighty, so let's try one of these. Let me figure out which one I want to try. I'm no longer in the dark. Actually, I didn't mind being in the dark. We had plenty of light, and we had light coming through the window. It was kind of nice today. All right, so we're going to try this one. They said they were a gloss? That's not a gloss. That's not a gloss. That's comfortable. That's really comfortable. I don't know. It says it's a gloss, right? Silky, long-lasting lip gloss. Non-stick lip gloss. It's not sticky. I wouldn't call it a gloss, though. It doesn't feel like it's really drying down. So maybe it's just not a matte lipstick, but I think it's more of a lipstick than a gloss. It's a pretty color. It really is. All right, so I am going to go and do some final touch things, and then we will come back. Alrighty, so we've done our minor tweaks. Let's go ahead and take a much closer look at the look. I did have to touch up the inner corners. I am losing shit underneath my eyes. It's my eyes, folks. Don't blame these palettes or anything on them. It is my fucking eyes. We know this. We haven't been gone that long. We haven't been gone that long. Anyway, so here is the look. What there is of it underneath. It's terrible. So for underneath, for my inner corner, I used this purple that is called New Year. It did initially show up, but then it washed out. I mean, it's my eyes. And then from the Death palette, I used this color Release. And then I went ahead and used Challenges on the back end of the under eye. So that's what I used. Let us go ahead and talk about, we'll talk about the palettes first. So as I noted before, I was losing on my inner corners, but we also know that I do not hold that against palettes. My inner corners do that to everybody. There's very few that can withstand my inner corners. In fact, out of my favorites, even Nomad is struggling to withstand the fact that my inner corners just go, we're going to evaporate now. But I don't blame the palettes. Other than that issue, this is a beautiful palette. I was really actually kind of surprised. I think the first palette that I ever got from Ladybug Glow, kind of underwhelmed me. So I was really hoping that this color story, this palette, would work out nicely, and it has. It's a beautiful palette. The colors that I've used, the mattes have been very matte. The shimmers are, well, most of the shimmers, there's at least one that isn't, are kind of high shine. Let's grab some of these colors that I haven't used. Oh God, these are so pretty. So as you can see, they're highly pigmented. We already seen that I'm gonna have to use that one of these days. We've already seen that they withstand, but there is that. So it is a beautiful palette. As with everything else that we're going to be talking about, I will list it down below, and with the pricing and everything, I can't remember. The Cosmic palette does not surprise me. It is their quality. I'm going to grab this silver, which I used over the one color, and some of these others. Oh, there's so many to choose from. These are beautiful. There's an astonishing number of nudes in here for me, but it is a beautiful palette. And as with their other palettes, It's just pretty. That purple is very, very light and likely to not stay. The two palettes complement each other really well, I think. Yeah, even that purple withheld. Now, see, this purple over here did disappear, but that one really. These are all the cosmics. I do love the color story in this palette, and I do think they hold up fairly well, all things considering. Eyeliners. Let's do the eyeliners first. I don't know if I ever used the Moira on here, which is one of the reasons I'm bringing it up. But I just tried the this NYX Epic ink liner glitz. It was actually too light, so I ended up. I still used it under the first 2/3 of my under eye, but that was it because it's too light to withstand this particular dramatic look. It does have a bit of a sheen, as you can see. It's a very light liner. This is not a liner for my skin tone. Let's put it that way. It's just too light. It won't show up. The way I do my eyes, it really won't show up. But it does a really nice fine line. It goes on very smooth. And if it were darker, I'd be interested in more of them. But this was a freebie from an Ulta order, so that's why I picked out the color. I picked out the darker color that they had, one of the darker colors. And yeah, so it has a little bit of a sheen on it. You can see it there, but not something I'll be using here. I haven't used eyeliners in my art. I might try to take that upstairs for that. All right, so this I ended up using my Wet n Wild, my usual Wet n Wild, for the actual lining of my eyes. These big paint pots apparently are discontinued, which really, I'm going to have to find something else. But I did use the Moira Precision Liner to fill in, and it too has a really nice tip, gives you a really nice line, and it did the fill in beautifully. However, I don't think this one is waterproof because my watery eyes, I started having some of the little lines you get sometimes on the outside. That said, I'm not mad at it. I'm going to keep it and continue to use it. And Moira is one of those affordable brands that, again, not top 10, but I do buy a lot of stuff from them because they are affordable and they do have some really good stuff. I generally don't get into their palettes, but a lot of their other stuff, like their Hydra plumping stuff, their glitter primer. This primer, I've tried the NYX primer. This primer beats out the NYX primer and is on par money-wise. So yeah, there's a few things that are not eyeshadow palettes. I have a blush from them I really like that is actually really pigmented. This liner I'm happy with. I also tried the e.l.f. Lash Extender mascara. I had to dump almost all of my mascaras. Not quite all of them. I've got a couple that I probably should replace. Time. 3 months off. So yeah, time. But so I went and picked this up as with an Ulta order for some other things. Let's get some hair shit, guys. Leave me alone. The one thing that I do not seem to skimp on is my hair, okay? Just one of those women. Anyway, I will say the wand is a little odd. Well, not too odd. It doesn't curve, and it's not plastic pieces. It is definitely the wire type stuff that I prefer. However, it is a lash extender. This does not do any thickening, so I had to combine it with one of my old OGs, and that is the Maybelline Great Lash. I like the Maybelline Great Lash. It used to be like a base, and now I use it for, filling things out when a particular mascara isn't quite working out the way I need it to. And the two of them actually really, I think, worked fairly well together. I think I have a decent coverage on lashes. I haven't tried and I don't want to try or put the money into false lashes. But I can see these are doing very well. So I've got what I need. I need something that adds that thickness as well as length. I really do need something that thickens as well as lengthen. This combo works for me. And so if you're looking for a lengthener, this is great for that. It's e.l.f. It's not going to be expensive. But if you're looking for something that thickens, this won't do it. You're going to need something else. So just saying. Just saying. All right, so the lipstick did eventually dry down. It stayed comfortable. And then I went over it with my favorite gloss from e.l.f., their Berry Kissed gloss. I loved this gloss. I'm mad that this gloss is gone. But this gloss went very well with this lipstick. It didn't change the color of it at all. The lipstick didn't flake when I put the gloss over it. It did. Some lipsticks, some matte lipsticks in particular, do not particularly like you putting a gloss over them once they have dried. They get kind of weird and glumpy and flaky, and just they don't mix well. This one mixed well, so I'm happy with it. And of course, my e.l.f. So if that box set, if I recall the box set, if I can find it, I'll, like I said, with everything else listed down below. If that box set is still available, I can so far say this is not a bad deal. I wouldn't have bought anything expensive. It would have been about maybe $10 or so, because on new stuff, I'm particularly cautious about spending a lot of money. So I don't know who this brand is, but hopefully they're still available. Probably not. So that is everything that I have to share. I'm hoping to get back to filming down here in the studio. Which, like I said, we cleaned up. We literally went and moved things around, and we threw some things out. And I threw out all my old tea, folks. Almost all my old tea. If it was loose leaf tea, it got tossed. It had to get tossed. It'd been sitting in there, and even with the clips on it, it had to get tossed. I'm so sad. But I still have a lot of tea that's in sachets and stuff like that I've kept. And I'm buying some of the new Tea Republic teas. So we will still be doing tea. Somewhat. But I moved the tea over to where I used to have my makeup, and now all my makeup is behind me. I managed to keep my dragons. So we did that, and we did some other things. And I've got a little bit more space, although I'm sure that won't last long. But yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back in full. It'll be probably once a week filmings right now. And then we'll go from there, right? If I come up with ideas, hopefully I'll come up with some ideas and we can try something new at a later date. Right now, I'm just trying to get past the cold weather and all of that stuff. And then, just doing the things that I'm doing. All righty, so that is it for the day, and I hope you like what you've seen. And I hope that if you are not subscribed, that you will subscribe and that you'll help us out here on the channel. And yeah, let's go ahead and give our tea a sip, and then I can get on out of the husband's way. He just walked in the door, whether you heard him or not, with the new microphone. I'm not sure how I feel about what I've heard of my voice with this microphone yet. So you'll have to let me know what you think about that too. All right, let's give this a sip and move on out of here. Okay, I'm getting some of the blackberry and the sage. What is interesting is that this is a black tea, and I'm not getting that black tea aftertaste. That's why I kept it. It's actually a really nice tea. I like it. I like it. I recommend it if you like tea. All righty, folks. So that's it. and I hope you have a good one.